Hello, everybody. Surprise! I'm doing a surprise live. I did not establish a time for this one. I don't usually do them this early on Sundays, but I thought, you know what? I felt the call to do it. So I'm here. Today, I'm going to do a special message of love, a special message for twin flames. I'm going to channel a message. I'm going to pull cards, but for everybody, not just twin flames. First of all, whenever you hear the word twin flame, even if you're not one or you don't think you are one, you connect with them. Okay? If you're a part of the divine masculine and the divine feminine, which goes all the way back to the origination of time and creation and Adam and Eve and the gods and the angels, they're pretty much all twin flames. So anybody who's connected to God's light is also connected to the twin flames. Okay. So whenever you see anything about twin flames, I want you to know it's truly for everybody. Because, my friends, twin flames are the divine masculine and the divine feminine. And oddly enough, I woke up this morning and I saw a video from De La Roca. I don't know if you guys know who De La Roca is, but he is our everyday lives guy. And he is connected. However, today he did a video that just kind of, I was like, It was about how the feminine, the modern woman, self-sabotages, which affects the beta male. And on my journey, let me tell you, do you have any idea how much the masculine is affecting the feminine? Let's get real, okay? Do you have any idea how much the masculine has also affected the feminine? And so what I got from that was a lot of blame and shame. And that's not unconditional love, okay? Self-sabotage affects both the masculine and the feminine. Self-sabotage is one of the biggest things of any relationship woe, okay? An inability to see from the lens of unconditional love affects anyone and everyone, okay? I kind of did this live at this time so that I could feel really good during the live and free, and that's okay if nobody comes today because I don't normally do them at this time. So if anybody does come, that's great. I'm also doing free messages if they do come. And I always have the option for a donation-based one-on-one healing. Any live that I do, pretty much, there's an option for a donation-based one-on-one healing because they can be quite expensive otherwise. And so I like to open up that avenue. But here's the thing about what I wanted to talk about today is because in De La Roca's title, it was about the women self-sabotaging affecting the beta male. On the true twin flame journey, I had to fight so hard for my DM soul. And there was a lot of pull on his side against that. Okay, so I literally had to battle my own twin soul because it was not in the light. And if you really know what happened throughout history, to Jesus and Mary Magdalene, to Adam and Eve, to all of it, which does play out on this channel, you will understand that. And so I felt like, I could sit here and say, no, it's the masculine, but I'm not going to say that either. No, it's not the masculine's fault and it's not the feminine's fault. And I want you to understand that as twin flames are two of the same soul. And it's like my new DM said it perfectly. It's like literally like two people who are trying to steer the same ship. And generally speaking, with my story, it's a little different because I got to walk in twin flame, right? But with twin flames, and you're all connected to this, okay? It's literally like two people trying to steer the same ship. And when De La Roca had his video this morning that said, the woman, how the modern woman sabotages and it affects the male. And that's not true at all. That's actually quite hurtful and damaging. We don't want to pin one against the other, and we don't want to blame one side or the other. That's never unconditional love, okay? So any relationship that you're in, whoever just came on, don't come on and leave. Welcome. You're welcome. I'm doing free messages. These lives go lots of places. So don't worry about coming in and hanging out with me. I promise it would be awesome, okay? So there's that. But I'm just going to kind of cleanse the energy with a little bit of bay leaf. How's that? I'm going to slow down. I feel where we struggle with is the difference between karmic relationships to unconditional love, right? Unconditional love for ourselves, unconditional love for each other, and truly understanding twin flames. The reason I can talk about them is because that's been the journey of the return of the gods, is the union again of twin flames, okay? On all levels of separation. That's what happened to the earth, okay? Is the masculine and feminine were divided and blinded and forced to go against each other. And no matter who you are, that affects you. Even if you don't think you're a twin flame, you might be and you don't know it. That's always a possibility, but not everybody is, and that's okay too. You don't have to be affected and connected to the twin flames. Okay, so I am going to do a read for twin flames. I'm also going to do an individual read for all of mankind for relationship status. And if anybody came on, I was going to be willing to do free messages. I'm always willing to do that. Free guidance, as well as a one-on-one donation-based healing sessions, always an option. I used to do these every Sunday, and I felt like what I did didn't matter for a moment, right? And I feel like sometimes that's what De La Roca is trying to say, is the feminine self-sabotaging affects the masculine. I'm going to change that. You know what my new DM says? I like him a lot because he says it perfectly. I hear him telepathically. We're highly connected. And he talks about how consistency is required because there's always a pull against that, right? So when you hear self-sabotage on the feminine side, it's not just the feminine, it's the masculine too, okay? We are the same souls. And so on any person's side with the masculine and feminine, they are being affected by that. It's like an internal battle. And my twin flame course is perfect because it's not just for twin flames. Everybody who's connected to God is connected to that energy, okay? And I do mean everybody. So I have a throat chakra bowl here. I hope people come on and hang with me. That would be really cool. Have lots of fun together. But I want to restore the confidence in everybody with love because, you know, karmic patterning is developed where we're outside of unconditional love. And to blame one side or the other is not unconditional love. And that's actually not how twin flames work. Okay. That's not how twin flames work. All right. It's never one side's fault, generally speaking. Because what I do affects my DM. Okay, what the feminine does affect the DM, but what the DM does also affects the feminine. And on the journey, the masculine has had a really hard time stepping up. Okay, a really hard time, but he was also a walk-in. But even before he was a walk-in, he had a really hard time stepping up. All right. And so I want you to consider the battle the feminine went through. Okay, it's like this constant pull. And then there's always energies working against both sides, the masculine side and the feminine side, that don't want us in balance. They don't want us equal in the masculine and feminine side, because even not as a twin flame, when you are equal in the masculine and feminine side of yourself, you see clearly, you're in full power. And the shadow doesn't like that. The matrix doesn't like when love is our guide. The matrix doesn't like when we can see past the tomfoolery, right? Poor Toms. I don't know if anybody's named Tom, but no tomfoolery. But when we can see past the illusions, the shadow does not like that. So I'm just doing a bit of the cleanse of the energy as well. Okay. Feel free to come on and get a message if anybody wants to. Okay. So I want to bring some clarity to love, to true love, because in my journey in uniting with the DM, anytime anything would come up about the DM, I would have to cancel, clear that, and focus on me and heal what that is within me. So when you see somebody blaming the feminine side, you need to consider it's actually happening to both sides. A masculine and feminine is a pure reflection of each other. Okay. So what is happening on one side is very similar to what is happening on the other side. So if there's self-sabotage coming in on the feminine side, there's also self-sabotage affecting the masculine side. They pull against each other. And just like my new DM stated, it's like two people trying to steer the same ship. It's very true. So if the DM chooses to keep his heart closed, no matter how hard I'm battling, it hurts, like it's physically painful. I have to have my heart open, and vice versa. Okay. Anything I do truly does affect him. So when you are looking at twin flames, consider there's both of those in you, 1111, and we have to be equal parts. Okay. Equal parts compliant, equal parts connected. No blame, no shame. Sabotage affects both. Fear affects both. The false goddess affects both, right? There was that I battled as well, because that's what truly took down Adam. Okay. And then with Jesus and Mary Magdalene, that dealt with the Sistine Chapel and stuff that I recently undid also. It was like quite layered. But each time, like Adam and Eve, Jesus and Mary Magdalene, Sekhmet and Horus, they wanted to conquer and divide. They want you pitting against each other. They want you blaming each other. And that's the karmic play out. Okay. So any relationship where you have emotional manipulation, blame, shame, I feel like you're not good enough. That's number one, a pure reflection where you need self-love. Okay. That's so important, because that's your karmic play out. In a karma relationship patterning, we tend to go outside of unconditional love. And where we are divided within ourselves, we are not in unconditional love. We are not in full love. So De La Roca's title should be how it affects both of us, right? Self-sabotage affects both sides, not how the modern woman self-sabotage and affects the beta male as if the male is better than. Bullshit to the shit, okay? It's just not the case. Not at all, okay? I have fought very hard for my DM, and my first DM actually went against that and almost killed me. He couldn't see clearly, but he did. Okay. And I had to spend a whole year battling. That was the worst battle I've ever experienced. Horrible feeling. And I was attacked physically, spiritually, emotionally, like every which way you can think of. And then I got a walk-in DM, and even he allowed fear to get in the way. And then I have been having to battle all of this darkness to keep in line. And so it's not as easy as, oops, we self-sabotaged. It's as difficult as, holy shit, there's a lot of resistance. There is a lot of shadow trying to keep us apart. There's a lot of resistance. There's a lot of energy of, you can't, you won't, they don't love you. You know what I'm saying? And so where self-sabotage is, it's both sides, not just one. Okay. My new DM was like, yeah, they need consistency. They absolutely need consistency, but both sides need consistency. If you are out of balance and you're not centered in your heart center, you can't hear clearly either way, no matter if you're a masculine or a feminine. And so if you're a regular person, let's just say, that doesn't know if they're a twin flame or they're not a twin flame, if you are out of balance on the masculine side of yourself or on the feminine side of yourself, if you are not living from your heart center, from your truth and outside of the matrix, okay? We cannot be attached to the matrix and see clearly. You can't, okay? It's a veil of illusion. It's a shadow component, no matter who you are, okay? You cannot be attached to the matrix and see clearly. So in order to fully unite as a twin flame or a regular person on the masculine and feminine side, you have to be heart-centered. You have to be on your soul path, okay? That's not a maybe. And I don't want to spark your shadow, but I probably will. And that's okay. Just push past it. Don't throw the asshole energy my way, right? Or anybody's way, because it's something within you you have to heal. But if we are not heart-centered, masculine or feminine, or in you, masculine and feminine side, and we're out of balance, we cannot fully see clearly. So there should be no blame and there should be no shame. Because number one, if I hear something about the masculine, it's something in me I have to heal and correct because we're connected. Okay, so what's affecting me is also affecting him. So internally, if you are out of balance and you're not heart-centered, you cannot see at your soul level clearly, okay? You can't see fully into your heart center. It's hard to know, and you're more likely to be in a karmic patterned relationship, okay? By the way, I've had 1111, 222s, and 555. So this is a very important live, and I wish people were here. Come on over. But regardless, it's a very important live because there is a tendency to blame and shame, okay? And I noticed in a lot of karmic relationships, okay? Karmic relationships are lessons. They are not true love. They're not true love. They're all about karmic lessons. Being able to recognize that this isn't love, okay? And being able to detach from it, intentionally knowing it's not love, helps you rise into a true love relationship. But in karmic relationships, there is a lot of emotional manipulation, emotional blame, and imbalance. Okay. In a twin flame relationship, when we unite is when we are focused on our joys, focused on being our best self, balanced from the heart center. Okay. I teach all of this in my course. Balanced from, and not only that, I heal you. I align you with your karmic contracts to heal them so that you can rise together, because you have to heal every way you're outside of unconditional love. So I never want to blame the DM for anything, no matter what. I know it's a shadow trying to keep us apart. In a karmic relationship, though, there's a lot of blame, there's a lot of shame, there's a lot of external focus on the other partner rather than an internal focus on the self and where we are not our best self. Okay. And that's the difference between those karmic relationships to a high-end relationship or true love or a soul contract. Okay. So another cool part about my twin flame union is when I met my first DM and we were dating and we started uniting at the soul level. It was crazy and unexpected, but I was shown our contract and it went from red to white. And it meant that we had to clear the karma to unite. Okay. So to clear karma, it's not just cutting ties to it. It's actually learning the lessons of where we're outside of love. Okay. Where we choose outside of love, where we can't see love, and everything is a reflection of you. So anybody who picked up on De La Roca's video today of the woman self-sabotaging, affecting the beta male is coming from his ego. That is not unconditional love based. Because if something is coming up on the masculine side, I truly have to look within me to see what's reflecting that. Because I'm a reflection of him and he's a reflection of me. Okay. Granted, the masculine has had a really hard time stepping up. So I want you to consider that. Okay. The woman is not just going over here going, do, self-sabotage. I've actually battled one freaking horrific battle for years to unite with my DM. And he's constantly falling prey to this false goddess energy, fear, those kinds of things. And each time he does, I can't be like, oh, damn, look at what he did again. I have to look at me and be like, okay, how can I be better? And this is why twin flames don't always unite. Okay. Everything is a reflection of you. So even on the internal, your masculine side, your feminine side, you have to look within you. Every masculine and feminine, you have to look within you. Everything is truly a reflection of you in this world, whether you're a twin flame or not. Okay. What you're attracting is a reflection of you. What you're surrounded by is a reflection of you. And if you are afraid of boundaries, right? If you are afraid to own your truth, If judgment comes up for you and you throw it at anybody, or you run from it, or you whatever, well, that's person, da, 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 and you judge it without looking into all facts and having full discernment of what is outside of love, that's all on you, okay? Because that judgment that you might see something in me sparking judgment in you is in you, okay? So if you're in a relationship, karmic or not, first of all, karmic relationships are not true love. You might love them, you might care about them, but it's not true love. Okay, I know this. It's about lessons outside of love. Where do we give our power away? And it's always a lessened patterning of a karmic kind, right? A repeat cycle. But anybody, if you see something in them, your first inclination, the first thing that you should do is go within you and heal it. Okay? Go within you and heal it. If you see something that they're doing that really upsets you, first of all, you have to ask, number one, why are you putting up with it? Number two, why is this happening around you? What are you doing that's calling that in? There is something. Everything is a reflection of you. Everything. Okay? So in any twin flame, everything is a reflection of you. So the modern feminine self-sabotaging, which is affecting the beta male, if you really want to play that card, the masculine has affected the feminine 10 ways upside down, left, right, and center. Okay? I had to fight for my DM soul to return to the light, number one. And it was a battle of hell. It truly was. Battling the deep blue sea is what God called that one. I had to wake him up. I had to heal him. And I had to do it by standing my ground and fighting extremely hard. And then in the end, he still chose not to rise. And so I got a walk-in DM, a total new DM. The moon had to upgrade to new DNA. All of the masculines on this planet have to acclimate to that new DNA. So it's a big deal, okay? And then my new DM fell prey to fear, okay? And so the feminine has had 2222, had a battle that is unprecedented and not fair. But what is fair? It's the shadow, okay? So again, no blame, no shame. I can't sit here and blame the DM. I have to look within me. And there was a part in my journey where I'm like, fuck it. I gave up. Excuse my language, but I gave up. Like, I don't care. What do I care? I literally thought God chose a DM that didn't love me. And I find myself allowing that to surface every now and then. Because I don't know the new one, but I knew my first one. I loved him and he loved me. He just had a lot of wounds. And the new one, I feel internally, but I don't know externally. And so I was like, well, God, you just chose a DM that didn't love me. That's not true. But that's how it feels. Okay. So when De La Roca says this modern woman self-sabotaging affecting the masculine, it bothers me. I'm like, no, we're reflections of each other. Okay. And my new DM said it perfectly. It's strange because it's like two people steering the same ship. Okay. So even in a karmic patterned relationship, you want to focus on reflections. To a full-on twin flame relationship, you want to focus on reflections. Any kind of relationship you have, even if it's not an intimate one, you want to focus on reflections. Okay? So no matter what is happening, I want to make sure I'm not falling prey to self-sabotage, because if I am, he's dealing with it too. If I'm out of balance, my DM can't see. If the feminine is out of balance, the masculine cannot see into his heart center. That's the most important information you ever needed. If the feminine is out of balance, the masculine cannot see into the heart center, and that's what they did to rip apart Adam and Eve, okay? It's true, because I took part in bringing all that back. If the masculine is out of balance, the feminine also cannot see clearly into the heart center. Self-sabotage is not just affecting the feminine, it's affecting the masculine. Okay? karmic relationships, in any relationship, it's a reflection of you. Either way, it doesn't matter. Twin flame, not twin flame, work relationships, best friends, acquaintances. You allow around you by what matches your vibration. That's why when we have an awakening, we actually come into a state of separation from those that we were around, because our vibration suddenly shifts. And so where we were around should shift. Okay? Making sense? And if you ever come on, you guys, come on. I'm doing free messages. If anybody comes on and wants one, I want to rebuild this community because, you know, in the rise to the return of the God's work, we lost some people. They didn't make it. When my DM died, it really did affect people seeing clearly. And it's sad. And I want to rebuild this community. And I gave up a little bit at one point, and I shouldn't do that. But again, no blame, no shame. No blame, no shame. There is no fault. There is no fault. That's not unconditional love, okay? The only thing there ever is where are you not in your best self? If you're ever blaming anybody else, look within you. What did you do to accept that? When I was a kid, my grandmother told me, and maybe she didn't do it in the right context or the right timing because it was trauma surrounded, but she said, if anything happens to you, it's your fault. And at that time, something very horrific happened to me. And when she said it, I got angry. I'm like, how dare you? That was not my fault. That was not my fault that just happened to me. That hurt me. It was traumatic as all get out. And I was a kid. And her words were, whatever happens to you, it's your fault. And my grandmother was kind of harsh, but she meant well, and she was correct. Anything that happens to us is our fault, but there is no fault. Nothing can happen to you. It's only through you. So even if I didn't know any better, even if I was put in a situation I shouldn't have been put in, I did something to get there. Okay. I accepted something to get there. I didn't listen to my gut, right? Number one, your gut's going to tell you something's wrong. Don't go. And we may ignore that sound, that noise. So no matter what happens in your life, and I'm getting chills, is you did something to get there. Okay. So if you're surrounded by a-holes and they keep treating you the same way and you keep picking the same people, it's within you. It truly is. And usually it's healing that you need to get back to self-love. Okay. So in any relationship, if you don't love yourself, you can't unite with your twin soul. Right? So instead of saying, oh, God picked somebody who didn't love me, you know what my DM told me? Because I asked him one day internally, I was like, what do you need from me? And he literally told me is because of what happened, I was closed off to love. And I had to look at that. And I'm like, he's right. He's 1,000% right. And I hear him internally. We are connected. We're telepathic. I hear him. I feel him. I feel his emotions. I feel his love. I also feel his separation. And I don't like that. But at the same time, who am I to say he can't have space? To become a twin flame, to be connected with somebody 24/7 is a lot to process. You might feel like you're never alone or you never have space to breathe, right? And my DM would say it's like two people trying to steer the same ship. If he was a walk-in, you guys. Can you imagine being a walk-in to this twin flame journey? Like, holy bajoli, right? And I had to look at it from that side. Not, woe is me, he didn't show up, this hurts. Does he know how much he's hurting me? I have to change that and look at, how is he hurting? What is it that's going on within him that I can heal within me? Because he's a reflection of me and we are connected. So his wounds became my wounds. My wounds became his wounds. So if a feminine, God forbid, is self-sabotaging, what's going on the masculine side? If the masculine ain't stepping up, what do I heal next? Okay. Self-sabotage gets both sides. Self-sabotage gets everybody, right? That's one of the biggest things. That's why one of the courses I did during the Return of Christ work, or the Return of the Gods work, is self-sabotage healing. What is self-sabotage? Why do we do it? And healing it. Okay. All the courses that I did pertain to the return. I have a twin flame union course because no matter who you are, you have a divine masculine and feminine side of your soul, and we have to unite fully into the wholeness of ourselves. If you're a twin flame, it's the same thing. Okay. So where we struggle is where we're not aligned with ourselves. Where we struggle is not where we're not aligned with our heart center and imbalance from our heart center. And no matter what, the shadow's going to get in and try to be like, with lots of negativity coming your way. Okay. Lots of negativity coming your way. So I want you to consider all of that. I'm like, I should call my mom and tell her to come do a healing session. I'm going to text her. I don't usually do a live this early, but I did it on purpose. And also I felt spirit say to do it. So I did. I don't know that she'll get it or come in time, but I want somebody to come get something. Somebody can join me on the live. So I'm texting my mom to see if she'll come get a live. I actually had to do some healings on her recently because she was super sick. Super, super sick. When I went into her energy, I heard pneumonia right away. But within 2 healing sessions, she went from deathbed feeling to completely healed. So that was cool. So she can come get another one if she hears me. She's done one on my live once before, so we'll see what happens. I just want somebody to come on and enjoy the live with me. We will rebuild this community, and whose fault is it that it didn't stay built? And it's mine because I did self-sabotage. So yes, there is self-sabotage on both sides. So anytime there's a mishap in union, God has me look within and do more healing. You don't blame and you don't shame. It's never the feminine's fault and it's never the masculine's fault. It's where are we outside of love? So if you're in a situation that you're not happy, work, family relationships, you need to look at the reflections within you. What is within me that aligns with that? What do I do to attract that vibration? And it's the same thing for manifesting. You're not a manifester, you're a creator. So if I'm having a hard time manifesting good things, why do these things keep happening to me? I have to look within my vibration. Your layers of your vibration will tell you everything. Because we are all a vibration. We are all energy. When I undid the Sistine Chapel part 2, I sent out an email and I was like, the portal of hell. Now I know God doesn't call it the portal of hell. But even that title, like, people like bounced. You know what I'm saying? People judge things before they look deeply into anything. So that's an external speculation. Okay. So they do it in relationships a lot. We do it in any kind of relationship. In all circumstances of life, you're judging it. And De La Roca just sent out straight up judgment against the feminine side. And I didn't like that. And I could be like, no, it's the masculine. And that's not true either. Could I look at it from the masculine side and be like, those are big shoes to fill? It took me a minute to do it because it hurt at first. So sometimes we can't see past those wounds, right? And then I have to look within me. And the masculine needs consistency, but so does the feminine. Okay? We need that strength. They're supposed to be our protector and the strength. And I will tell you, the masculine has not been a protector. He's actually been the runner. And so the feminine has been trying to pull in the runner. And my new DM was supposed to correct that. That is true. I just had a 444 when I saw that. So, But I can sit here and say, "Ooh, woe is the DM." No. Instead, I've had to look within and go, what more can I heal? What more can I do now to help the situation within me? And the one thing he needs the most is consistency. And he's right. When I got a walk-in DM, it was so traumatic, and I had such heartbreak when he didn't show up that I closed off to love. And I also had a false DM, and I was being attacked by those that rose with me because nobody wanted me to complete this journey. The shadow doesn't want you to win. So there will always be temptations and fears. There will always be some kind of something that pops up. And if we choose to believe it, then we will create that in our reality. By the way, on my Healing Light Movement channel, I do what some of you might call Reiki or just healing energy light movement. God calls it Oshai healing, which means the descendant of the sun. But I get new downloads of symbols for what you call Reiki because we have to upgrade it. And so I love using them. Like, what were the other ones? Let's see. So I'm hearing to connect us to the masculine and feminine. Balance and harmony in the masculine and feminine. So De La Roca was actually coming from a place of ego today and blame and shame. And I don't like it. And I didn't watch his video. I do like him. He is generally quite connected. So it is what it is, but I want to correct it because I don't want people blaming one side or the other. What we forget is everything around you is a pure reflection of you, period. Your twin soul is no exception to that. They are a pure reflection of us. So what is going on? And maybe he's pulling on me because he does have free will, but it's still my responsibility to hold that ground, right? To stay grounded. Okay. So no matter who you are, that's the best thing you can do to see clearly. Okay. If we're not grounded, we can't see. If we're not balanced from the heart center, we can't see. Okay. Why do people come on and leave? I know I'm not that ugly. Stay with me. I get some messages. It's all good, but that's okay. Either way, I had a community, and when I got into New Earth and without my DM's protection and things, one of those members was actually supposed to do the Sistine Chapel. That was not my scroll. That was not supposed to be mine. She rose with me through the return work, through all the pyramid activations, through all the work, went through her awakening, helped me clear Salem, Massachusetts. We cleared all darkness from there as well. And then God had given her a scroll. And I knew it had to do with religion, but I didn't know exactly what it was. And instead of continuing her journey, she attacked me. She's cut me off of my own life path. She actually went into my DM's energy and soaked it up. And I felt raped. I really did. I remember that. We were doing an exchange, and she's like, oh, and she just basked in my DM's light, and actually internally cut me off from the sun. Kind of stole my path. And I didn't see it at first. Spirit had to show me. And I started calling my power back, and then I had to heal it for like weeks. And then she had like another chance, and she still chose to play with ego rather than align to her purpose. And so that day sucked when I got her scroll, and I didn't know what it was. I didn't know it was going to be the Sistine Chapel. Ooh, and the second scroll on the second Sistine Chapel was ivory. I thought that was so cool. I had never had an ivory scroll come through before, because the reason why those that rose with me had certain things to clear is because those are the things they took part in creating karma against the divine masculine and feminine, right? And so when they fell off, lots of people stopped seeing me. My DM not uniting, people can't see me as clearly either. And that's okay, because it does require both halves. That's what I'm saying. If you're not in balance from your heart center, if you're not in balance from the masculine and feminine side, you are not in your full power, and you can't see clearly either way. Okay. Do not ever blame the masculine or the feminine side. If anything is going on, you need to look within you. So I'm going to pull some cards now. Okay, we're going to look into what Spirit says for twin flames, for all relationships here. What's going on? Okay. What is going on for twin flames? What do we need to know right now? So let's see this. We're going to pull the heart center. So what's blocking the heart for twin flames? So I'm going to start that over because my intention was not 1,000% clear. For both sides, twin flames, masculine and feminine, what is blocking the heart? Show me clearly. Whoa. I'm hearing one more here. Whoa. All right. So what's going on with the masculine and feminine that is blocking our heart, that is messing with our journey? Okay. The first thing we've got here is seeking the truth. So on both sides, they need to push past the veil of illusion. Okay. And that's why when De La Roca is like what the woman does, the modern day woman, to mess with the beta male. First of all, that is one of the most egotistical titles I've ever read, right? So in twin flames, right now, they need to seek the truth, okay? Push past that veil of illusion and seek the truth. Then we have darkest fears, okay? Number 9, we have to release fears, okay? So both of these are mental complexes. Hello, mental cortexes, okay? And we have to push past the illusions of our fears, of our thought patterns, because you see these things circling around his head. So this one's the feminine. Look at this. There's a female in this one seeking truth, right? Looking past the veils of illusion. And then on this one, we have a male with these planets, this like energy circling around his head, right? Darkest fear. So there is some dark thought patternings occurring and also fears and illusions. Okay. So that's so important. And then we have, so within that, those I have to say this is these are both mental cortexes. Okay. Seeking truth. And we have darkest fears. They are both part of the illusions of the veil, thought processes, and the mind. And we need to focus on success and growth, just like I said in my whole entire first half of this video. Okay. Success and growth is so important for twin flames, but any relationship. And when you believe in yourself, you will succeed. So this is also coming up in my journey, is leaving the past behind. Which has been something I've had to process. I've had to process grief from those that were supposed to rise with me that chose the shadow, and that's okay. I have to process that grief. So in the masculine and feminine side of you, or twin, doesn't matter who you are, twin flames or not, it's so important for us to let go of all fears right now. Okay, we have to let go of all fears, and we have to seek the truth beyond the illusions. And generally speaking, those are in the mind. Fears rise out of the mind, right? Your thoughts create emotions. And so if something can get in your head and create this fear, then your whole body is affected. It stunts our connection. We can't hear clearly, okay? And then we can't see all truths clearly, okay? So it's so important to do that. And never blame or shame. Okay, if anything's going on within your reality, you have to look within you and heal it, because everything is a reflection of your vibration. So consider that. Look past the illusion. Look into what is clouding those things. Look into what's creating that fear, because, you know, some people say fear is a necessity part of life. I will tell you that's a lie. Fear is a very low vibrational energy and emotion. Okay, 4444. And I know some people say, well, if without fear, it's for survival. That's actually not true. I've been in crisis. I have a psychology degree. There's that side of it. But even as a healer and through my own journey and my own awakening process, fear shows you where we're in the false timeline system. Okay. I saw another thing that said anxiety is a part of your journey. It shows you where you're in a false timeline and you have healing to do. Okay. Fear comes when we're thinking, number one, too much. Okay. I don't need to think about tomorrow. That's truly where fear comes in. And I don't need to think about the past. And that's hard when we have healing to do. Hello. Thank you. Good morning, everybody. So fear is tricky. Fear is a very powerful emotion, you guys. It's very powerful. And I saw De La Roca's title today, and he's like, where the modern woman self-sabotages and affects the beta male. And that bothered me. I'm like, number one, you're going to create self-doubt. You're going to create these things, right? And fear comes in those kinds of things as well. Fear, that's how the money matrix uses fear like an anchor. That's what they did with the things too, right? The whole sicknesses and all these kinds of things. They're very low vibrations. Okay. So even on the divine masculine and the divine feminine side of all of us, because we are all part of the twin flames. I don't care who you are, twin flame or not. We're all a part of that, and it affects you. There is a lot of fear on the masculine side. Okay. And the feminine can take that on. But self-sabotage affects both sides. But we both have to seek beyond that veil. Okay, so when things come up that are a low vibration, fear, timelines, worrying about what others think of us, because Spirit showed me that the other day, is like, you're looking for validations. And I'm like, shit, I am. That's because a lot of people fell off on my journey and weren't seeing the work, and that hurts, and I take that personally. And so I'm like, oop, that's not love, right? That's not my own power. That's not something I need to worry about. So fear is an illusion. It's a low vibration, and it's something we have to let go of. But when we focus on the right things, okay, success and growth, when we focus on planting the right seeds. So the thing about fear is, even when I'm like trying to start a business, or I'm trying to become heart-centered, or I'm in an awakening, fear can rise for many reasons. Number one, the matrix is a blueprint of false timelines and false systems, and it anchors into your energy, and it's subconsciously. Okay. So fear will just suddenly rise. It's almost like the fight or flight just triggers, the switch comes on, right? And fear will suddenly rise. And that's showing a layer of our vibration where we need to call our power back, and we need to be in the here and the now. Okay. So on the masculine side, there's a lot of darkest fears going on, and that's affecting anybody. I don't care who you are. Okay. It's going to affect you. So clear the fear. The thing about that is, and what Spirit says very loudly, is if I think too far ahead, I can't see clearly. Okay. That's where fear comes in. If I look at things like too far ahead, well, I have goals, right? Goals is a thing that can get you as well, because you're thinking of the future. And I don't want to think too far ahead, because that's when things get overwhelming. Right? That's when things get overwhelming and fear comes in. And maybe I have bills to pay, right? Maybe I have these things to do, and everybody says I got to detach from the matrix and I got to do these things. If you get out of the here and the now, that's when it becomes chaotic, and we can't see the nudges of abundance. Manifesting is the same way, but that's tricky too, because they want you visualizing and constantly thinking about the future too, and we don't want to do that. Just be in the here and the now and know it already is. Have you ever heard, just it already is, right? It already is. I already have it. So with this message, what's affecting the masculine side of you, or the twin flame blueprint, is there's fear. The darkest fears keep circling around. Okay. And not pushing past those illusions. The future is an illusion. You create it from the here and the now, no matter who you are. Okay. Karmic relationships, they will do that a lot too. That's like manipulations and emotional manipulations and things. And that's just chaos. We've got to be in the here and the now, focused on our vibration and our energy and self-growth, success and growth. Okay, it's planting seeds in the here and the now. If I think about tomorrow or when it's going to return, or I've got bills in a few days, you know what I'm saying? Panic and fear will come in. If I keep my focus right now, what's happening right now? And people who struggle with meditation might have a hard time with this. And so the way I teach is focus on the sounds. If you're in a noisy environment, that's okay. Start in the chaos. Focus on those. Oh gosh, there's lots of cars. Like I always hear this and that. And then I want you to tune inward to another vibration or sound. So if it's like super chaos, I want you to find something a little quieter and tune into that. And this helps you stay in the here and the now. Okay. It also helps you learn to detach from the outer noises and going inward. So it's like starting in the most external place of chaos and noise and working your way inward to the most subtle internal vibrations. Okay. That helps us detach from fear. It helps us detach from false timelines. Really important. I don't like the word timeline. It's because spirit will tell you there is no time. There's no such thing as time. So what are timelines then? It's a vibration. Okay, that's why we have different timelines, is because people are different vibrations, different states of consciousness, different states of knowing and awareness, different states of internal to external focus, right? So those that are more externally focused, more in the chaos, more in the matrix blueprint, are in a different timeline. Those of us that have detached more, that know that love is the key to everything, right? We're doing that. We're creating, not manifesting. Because when you're manifesting, there's still a separation from the totality of who you are. Did you know that? And so the more aware we become, we're in a different timeline. It's a vibration. Okay. The ascension, going through the portals, is all vibration based. The higher we rise, right? We're going through portals. The higher our vibration goes, the more we're aware. Okay. So that's why we don't like time. Time creates fear, false timelines, and it's all about fear. Okay. So no fear. Here's the thing about that. And I know this on the masculine side, and it affects all of mankind, is that these thoughts will get in our head and they will make us think something's going to go wrong. Okay. Like if I listen to my nudge of my heart, then this is going to fall apart. And I see this playing out in women and men across the board. Okay. If I quit my job, I won't be able to pay my bills. If I listen to God's timeline or the soul path, then I will be screwed, right? These negative thoughts, like if I do this, if I listen to God, this is going to happen. And that's those illusions. Okay. Because nothing is unless you make it that way. You're a creator. You're not a manifester. You're a creator. So what you think, what you feel, what you believe, you will create. Okay. Now there is a shadow component you have to be aware of, because if you're truly operating from an ego state, that's still not pure love, right? You have to truly keep tuning in and releasing illusions of grandeur. That's what I call them. Okay. So we have seeking the truth beyond fears and illusions. So important right now. Okay. If a negative thought comes in and it's not pure love and pure power and what you want it to be, cancel, clear, delete, you need to heal. Okay. Heal the vibration that's attached to that. Raise your vibration. Okay. You have to believe and succeed. You have to hold your visions, right? Hold your visions. And keep focusing on planting those seeds every day. Okay. Planting seeds every day. And sometimes we have to work harder to clear those energies, because opportunities are here, but if we're focused on the wrong things, we can't see them. And that's what this card speaks loudly of. Okay. If we're out of balance and we're focused on the wrong things, you see this? There's two forms of balance in this card. Okay. If we are focused on the wrong things and we're out of balance, we cannot see clearly. Okay. So I see this happen a lot as people are doing things and they think they're somehow hearing spirit all the way, and they're not. Okay, because we can't see past that shadow. Can you have false spirits and guides? Yes, you can. Have you ever experienced that? In my awakening, I had a being come through and like it was like Archangel Michael, but it wasn't him. And I knew it. I knew it was different. And so I cleared it out. And so we are tested in that too sometimes, okay? Those are those illusions. If you're in a lower vibration, it allows lower beings to come in. When our vibration is higher, we can tell when it's not right. We can tell because you can feel it. But if something in you is blinded by a shadow, we won't be able to see that illusion. We won't be able to see the false frequency. Okay? So it's so important to constantly be vibrational focused. So important right now. Okay? Because there's a lot of illusionary energies. Right? Just like there's a lot of people on this planet that aren't truly connected. The whole zombie craze, that's really what that is. They're just not connected to that. Okay? So the more we focus inward, planting the seeds of connection, every day, planting a seed of creation, staying in balance, stay right now. Do not think of the future because what you do right now is going to create that either way. Okay, so don't worry about that. When you do that, it's a false timeline and fear comes in. So if you get images of the future and it's not light and it's not love and something good, clear it out. Heal it. Okay, heal that vibration. Cancel, clear, delete, and speak and see nothing but success, believing and succeeding. Okay, seeking beyond the illusion and pushing past those fears. Like your darkest fears. So this is why in the ascension, we're supposed to heal our wounds because the shadow uses those against you. If light, Kundalini, everything is very much aware and smart, right? Smart energy. It's very aware. It sees things more than we do. The shadow does too. So whatever your fears are, if your biggest fear is losing a loved one or your money, then that's what it's going to use as a weapon. Okay. That's where you're giving your power away and you have to call your power back. Pure sovereignty. Okay. So if yours is ego and you want to be better than everybody else, that's the things that's going to nudge you. Right. Gosh, that was never my journey. I remember when Spirit's like, do a YouTube channel. I was like, no, no, I don't need to. There's lots of those. And God was like, but yours will be different. It's needed. And I'm like, no. Took me like a month of arguing with Spirit to get out there and do it. So what their motivation is so important, but they can fool you, right? Intention is everything, but they can fool you. For reals, for reals. So I had texted my mom and I was like, come get a healing. So I'm seeing if that's her. I was like, come get a healing on the live, Mom. Nobody's here. Oh. It is her. Let's see if she comes over. So after the message, I'll do a healing on her. Okay. So people can see how that rolls. So I want to see what the starseed message is because number one, if you're a starseed and a light worker, generally speaking, you're a twin flame. We're all connected to that energy though, either way. So that's why this is kind of all connected to that. Plus, De La Roca's message this morning threw me for a loop. I was like, that is so ego, my dude. It's never the woman's fault or the masculine's fault. It's where love is not. So everything in your life that comes up, it's where love is not. Okay? If fear is coming up, there's something there's not there. It's like you're giving your power away to time or illusions. Okay, your biggest fears, heal a wound. There's like, you have to know your power. Generally, everything comes back to self-love. True self-love, that's God is love. Where is God found? In our heart center. Home is where the heart is, right? Self-love is everything. So, everything can be chalked up to where love is not. Okay, never blame, never shame. I didn't like that title. De La Roca, our Everyday Lives, his title today was where the woman is self-sabotaging and how that affects the beta male. And I was like, oh. Okay, first of all, my initial reaction was, do you realize that I had to like literally battle my DMs pull against the return work? Like it was a constant battle where I was in the light, I was in the bound, I kept having to like not allow him to pull that down. And then eventually I got a walk-in DM. This is very real. That battle was real. So if you're going to do anything, I was like, no, you could blame it on. And then I was like, wait, nope, oop. There is no blame. There is no shame. So if the feminine's in self-sabotage, guess what's happening to the masculine side? Self-sabotage, fears. It's a reflection. Okay. So it's never one side or the other. I don't ever want to, that will not allow you to unite, because then you're not seeing that they're half of you and everything's a reflection of you. Okay. So even on my journey, I literally, if anything happened and I started going, well, look what the DM's doing, I would stop and I would ask him, like, what do you need from me? And I can hear him. We're connected. And it's true, when all that happened, I did shut down a little bit to love. And so that was on me, right? How can he get through? And so it's just a constant reflection of you, but also realizing that what is happening to you on the feminine side, something's equally out on the masculine side. Okay. So it's never one without the other, no matter who you are, where you're going in the world. It's never one side without the other. No blame and no shame. It's never anybody else's fault, ever. And I know some bad things happen to people. I understand that. And I know nobody asks for those things to happen. That's not what I'm saying. But there's something in us that we didn't listen to, that we weren't paying attention to, that we're not aware of, that probably warned us, right? Like, don't go that way, or we'll like question it in our head. It's always that constant mind over heart battle. Okay. Listen to the heart over the mind. Trust me. Listen to your solar plexus over your body. And if there's shadow blocking it, then that's the most important thing to do, is clear that shadow. Okay. So I'm going to pull from the Starseed deck here. I want to see where we're at, like in Starseeds, light worker territory, high frequency beings that we're all connected to. We truly are. And anything about twin flames is not separate from all of mankind. Nothing. There is no separation. Okay. So, in this message right here, so I talked a lot about balance, right? What I'm hearing from Spirit is they're being called upon to bring balance and harmony. Okay. So this isn't just for the individual starseed, but it's about balance and harmony. Okay, messenger. Star seeds and light beings are here to help bring that balance and harmony. And we need more to hear that call. We truly do. I feel like there's like a push, there's an urge, there's a push, there's an urge. I keep hearing that. To help restore the balance of humanity, to help restore the balance of light. There's so much energy is coming in right now that we need more to truly shine as bright as they can. I'm hearing that. Okay. So, but all star seeds, twin flames, you guys, that's why it's so important for twin flames to be working internally on union, is because when they're doing that, they're affecting the whole entire population, all of mankind, the earth. Because twin flames are very powerful, and all star seeds and light workers generally are twin flames. And so it's very important to understand this, is the more that they work on love, the more that they work on balance and harmony and union, the whole vibration goes bzzz, and all of mankind can see more clearly. It brings more of a balance to the collective soul and the collective whole. So they're being called right now, and I'm hearing this very loudly, and they probably feel it. They probably hear something in their reality telling them, hey, do more of this, heal more of this. Twin flames should be working on union for that reason. It's a call from God. Okay, it truly is. God is calling you all saying, hey, can you embody more love? Can you please work on soul growth, embodiment, union? Because if you do that, you're helping all of mankind. Every person is connected to that if they're connected to the light. Okay, and we need that balanced frequency right now. There's too many energies coming in that it kind of messes with the mentality of mankind. You know what I'm saying? Where there's shadow, it really does cause chaos. You see that across the board. And so it's like a call to all star seeds and light workers and twin flames to draw in and call through more love. Okay. Yep. Yeah. So deep love, birth is a portal, mother's milk. So they are being called forward to help mankind rise. Okay. Big time through love, letting go of fears and false timelines. Remembering that it's never the feminine's fault and it's never the masculine's fault of things. There is no blame or shame no matter who you are. Do not blame anything. Do not shame anything. It's about where love is not. Okay, period. Where am I not willing to be my best self? What do I care about more? Is that ego? Is it just focused on me and selfishness? The only reason I say that is because my first DM, very selfish. He didn't want to step out of, he was into some things and he didn't want to grow out of it for the betterment of mankind where I did. And that's where the battle truly ensued. So it's not just about us. We're not here to just live right now. We're here to change. We're here to change the world. And those of us who are of higher frequency or have opportunities that others don't, it's very important to hear that call because you're serving a huge purpose. So twin flames, focusing on union is massive. It's a good thing. It's an important thing. Okay. So turn your guys within. This is what I was talking about. If we're focused outward, fear sets in. If we're focused on anything but what's right in front of us, fear sets in. It's false. It doesn't exist. All paths lead home. Okay. They all lead somewhere. But as inner authority, intuition, and turning your guys within, truly being focused inward, you have to, because that's where you're going to see your vibration. If we're focused external, which is what the matrix is good at, keeping our focus external, that's what the matrix always wants. Keeping your focus on money, keeping your focus on fear, giving your power away to the medical field. People don't want to hear that. They don't like that. And even YouTube banned my Healing the Medical Matrix. That was insane. That one was amazing. But YouTube banned it. And of course they did. It's only on Patreon now because it's too real for their liking. Okay, so the Matrix and all of its blueprints is like these little sectors of power depletion. And am I telling you never to go to a doctor? I would never tell you that. I'm a master healer, however, there is a difference. Okay, I'll tell you that. There is a difference. But to each his own discernment. It's free will based. You do you, boo, right? Like that's what I would say. However, there is all these matrix systems, and they are designed to keep us weakened, external, divided, and bound and blinded. Okay. But when we're internal and we're balanced from the heart center and we're embodying as much light as we can in love, and we give our power to the light and ourselves rather than the shadow and the matrix and fear or drugs or anything like that, addictions, one side you can see clearly and the other side you cannot. And when you can see and you're in power, great things occur. And it's not just you, it's all mankind you affect. Okay. And this is what I was telling everybody going through the path with me is you have to understand something. It's not just about you. We are here to serve. We're here to serve the betterment of mankind. I sacrificed a whole half of myself for mankind, my physical vessel. I sacrificed everything for the betterment of mankind. And if I died, I died. And I remember God calling me mahogany. He actually said that originally we weren't necessarily, there wasn't a timeline for some of the stuff that we went through, and they had to be created because of the battle with the twin flame and the ascension work. It was pretty amazing to see that. So if you're doing the work, if you're listening to God, if you're hearing the calls, if you're willing to be humbled and work through your wounds and your fears and where you're not your best self, great rewards do apply, because it's not just about you. It's about all of mankind. And unfortunately, some people went into the path of the return work, and they didn't really care about that. I remember asking somebody, like, doesn't it matter, like, about others? And they're like, no, pretty much no. I don't want to get out of my comfort zone. And I'm like, that's sad. It's really sad. You know, where did that all, we're all connected under the light of God. Okay. So I don't know if my mom's going to make it. Somebody else came on. I told her to come get a healing. So we'll see. I'm going to pull a little bit, though, from the masculine side of things, okay? Because I feel like no matter who you are, that masculine energy is crucial right now, okay? Crucial. So let's see what's going on there for all of us to understand. Also, you know, what we also may not understand too is that when we choose to heal, even if it kicks our ass, which it can do, because true healing and soul growth is it's a warrior stance. You know what I mean? It's not always easy. We're healing our ancestors. We're healing our children's children. We're healing the past to the future, because we're all connected. Isn't that so cool? Like, some people forget about that because it kicks our butt. And they're like, I just want to live. But when you realize how big of a change you're creating, then you can understand how big of the resistance is there and why. Right? So we do have emotions are running high, and I feel this. Oh boy, do I feel this. And the masculine side, you know how the masculine always seems so tough, right? Like, there's like this, if you look at like De La Roca, right? Muscular, but in truth, they're very emotional, sensitive, but they're not taught to reflect that in a lot of ways. Like the new DM, the new walk-in, the new twin flame that affects everybody is so sensitive. Where my first one was kind of a bully. Didn't consider how he was affecting things, but the new one is so sensitive. And so emotions are high on the masculine side. They're very, and a lot of that comes with processing the past. So there's part of our past life that we don't want to let go of. And I'm not meaning like different lifetimes. I'm talking about this one. As we come through the portals, we have to let go of certain pieces of ourselves. And my new twin flame was truly a walk-in. He was not this originally. He was not a twin flame. You can watch that. It was insane. God literally took half of my other DM soul and put it into a new masculine. And I saw him build a chakra system and stuff. He was not a twin flame. So he's had to like process all of this. I remember when it was like, these are big shoes to fill. And it was like jarring and a little bit traumatic. And now it's processing the past life. And that's not easy. And I'm reflecting the same thing. That's why I'm saying you can never blame and shame. And on my end, it's like, where did all the people who truly cared about this work go? I'm so sad about that. Like, I'm so sad about those that chose, you know, not to grow and rise and not to reflect love through this work. And then Spirit's like, yeah, that's validations. You don't need that. And I'm like, yeah, okay. So you see what I'm saying? Like, I have to do my work. And on the DM side, it's reflecting everything he's letting go of and leaving behind as well. So that's what I'm saying by emotions are running high. And I saw another card reader and she's like, ooh, detach from that energy. We have to be careful with that. We don't always want to detach from it. We want to give love. So where something's reflecting that's not love, we want to look back and go, you know what? I love you. I'll give you your space. I'm here for you. I'll be your strength. What we need, we want to give them. You know, I really literally tune inward and ask my DM what he needs. Do you do that? I teach that in one of my courses, my twin flame course. You'll hear something. Right? So if something's not right, you can look in and go, hey, dude, what do you need? I'm here for you. Right? If something's not right, look at you and go, where am I at? My emotions are running high. Let's see what I need to work through. And you better believe that they're working through the same thing. Okay. So keep in mind, emotions are running high. Please don't detach and judge. Love unconditionally. Unconditionally means I don't have expectations on you. I'm not mad because you're not here right now. I'm going to give you love. I'm going to give you what you need. Okay. And then I'm going to reflect within me and see what I can do to help. Okay. And know that your hard work is paying off. Starseeds and light workers. God is truly calling those to unite through love, embodying more light, and being willing to see. Mom's here. Yay! Woo woo. Being willing to see past that illusion. Okay. So my mom's here. Lisa, I saw you asking for a message. My mom's going to get a healing. Mom, you're here. Can you want a healing? I wanted to do a healing on you live, but I also heard you needed one. Got the nudge. So if you're willing to do a healing, I would like to do that. I just need to, yes. All right. Yes. So some of you may not know, my mom was not feeling well recently, and we did major healings on her. They were intense as all get out. And the first one was rough. Actually, we've done a couple, Mom, that were a little rough. And by the second one, she was good to go. And then I didn't hear from her anymore. But I feel like we need to do another one. So I would love to do that. If all of you are not aware of how a healing works, stick around, because to see how the healings work one-on-one is quite different than what I do on my videos. Okay. And I feel like that's important to see. Plus, I just feel I need to give it. So, Mom, the other day I did a crown chakra healing, and my crown chakra is like busted open. Okay. So I'm excited for this. I did a healing on Layla last night that went like, whoo, way out there. I was like, cool. So I'm so excited. So I would like to just tune into that really quick before I do anything else and give a healing on my mom. All right, Mom. Thanks for coming. Thanks for coming and being here. I didn't know if you'd be awake. She says yes. She says she's ready. Let me look something up because I'm hearing a crystal I've never heard before. Not fluoride, but fluorite. Yeah. So you need fluorite, Mom. That's the first thing I'm hearing. It's a crystal. Fluorite is a stone known for clarity and mental enhancement. Its ability to assist the clearing of negative energy and aiding in decision making. So that's the first thing I'm hearing, Mom, as you come on. It enhances mental clarity, focus, memory, promoting productivity, and helping with decision making. Also, faring emotional support by relieving stress and anxiety. So that's the first thing I'm hearing is you need fluorite, which I was like, fluoride? Nope, fluorite. Okay, let me make sure my ringer's down. All right, and some emotional release right away I'm hearing before I get into your energy, okay? So if you don't know me, I burp. For those who don't know, I burp when I connect. I can't do ASMR videos because I'm always burping. I'm like, screw it. I give up trying that. But that's okay. It's a good sign. My clients get used to that. I told my mom I didn't know I'd grow up to burp in people's faces. As a girl, I was a girly girl, and that's gross. But it's okay. We come into it. All right. So I was going to call on the creator and all the angels already. I'm tuning into your energy, obviously, because I'm hearing what you need. I'm hearing some emotionals. So there's some trapped emotions like right in here at the surface of the chest as well that I want to clear. But let's just get into the whole entire thing, okay? So I'm seeing also adventuring, fluorite and adventuring. But here's what I'm going to do with that is I need to draw down adventuring. The crystal adventuring, I'm drawing it down. I can see it as a color. It's coming in as light. So not an actual physical stone. It's coming in as light. So the light of adventuring is coming down into your energy through your aura and through your physical vessel, coming all the way down. And right at the head, there is something going on. Now, this is a multi-component. I don't know why I'm hearing this. Like, I don't think my real grandfather had Alzheimer's, did he? I don't know what's going on there, but there is a tie there. There is a tie with a mental clarity disorder within the bloodline in the family. So I'm not exactly sure, but we're just going to draw down the adventuring right now. I'm hearing mental clarity repair and like cloudy haze release also. So that's why it's coming down into the head. I'm not focused so much on the crown chakra. I need to go straight into the head, like the brain, the head, the physical vessel. And then I'm going to also run it all the way down. So I'm going down your central line, like kind of down your spinal column, spinal fluid, but it's not just localized. It's right down the center line. Taking adventuring all the way down, all the way down, all the way down, all the way down. I'm just so glad you're here, Mom, because I'm trying to rebuild this community into, joy and just celebration of these abilities and these gifts and togetherness. And so I'm just so happy to have that love here today. So I just wanted to thank you for that. It means a lot to me. And with that, I give the intent of just giving you the best possible freaking healing you could ever have. Although I do that every time. So I'm just kind of drawing it down. Your body, your physical vessel is very heightened, as well as the emotional one. And I'm about midway, and I'm going all the way down your body and into the earth. Now they're calling me to ground you with the light of adventuring into the water grid. Water. You're Arcturian. Are you aware of that, Mom? I don't know if I've said that before, but you have this connection with the Arcturian side of things. And water is very much so a relevant connection of yours. It always has been. Dehydration really affects you that way because you're so connected to the water of Earth, but also another planet like water planets. So I'm just taking the light all the way down and into the water grid, but I'm grounding you through the layers of the earth. So it's like tree roots, like psh, 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 spreading all out. Okay, and I'm going to start drawing the light up. I'm just going to draw light up, drawing light up now all the way up into your feet. But I need to connect you to the earth. So as I go into your feet, I want to clear your soul chakras there. Excuse me. Nice releasing. To reestablish a connection. And then as I'm drawing the light up, my big toe hurts. So I'm going to go into my big toe. It's on both sides. I'm reflecting it on both sides, but then I heighten on the left big toe by the toenail. So there is a connection here to, this is weird. I don't know if I've heard this before or seen this before, but I'm seeing it now. There's trauma that has physically happened to your toe. And there's also a connection to trauma of the heart. Isn't that weird? So our toe, kind of like our ring finger, is highly connected to the heart line. And that's what I'm hearing. Our big toe on our left side is highly connected to our heart line, just like our ring finger. You know how we put wedding rings on our ring finger? Same capacity, same awareness, same connection. So within your toe, I'm hearing also a little high, like uric acid, a little high in uric acid. And things like it's associated with like gout, but I'm not saying you have gout, but I'm feeling I just need to balance this out. I need to balance this out. Or there's trauma to the toe that I also need to release out. And for some reason, I'm heightening on the left. So it can be the right, but I'm reflecting it on the left because I feel like it connects to your heart center. Like there's some form of trauma in the heart center that changed your path. And this was like when you were younger. Changed your path of life, caused you to make different decisions. And I feel like it went with like self-worth, self-esteem, self-reflection, and not being validated in a lot of ways, but trauma, there's trauma there. And so that's just reflecting. And I know we're in a live, so I feel like I'm being honed in on certain things, but because I keep hearing changing of a heart path, changing of a heart path. Changing of a heart path. You're changing your path. Mom, you're changing your path. You've been changing your path. Oh, I got chills. So many chills when I said that. I know I'm not looking. My eyes are closed, but know that I'm here. I can hear you. So I'm not watching comments. If anybody comes in, I'm totally doing a healing. I go somewhere else. I'm not here. You can ask my mom that. Like, I'm not here. I go somewhere else. I'm physically here, but I'm consciously somewhere else. So I'm going to start drawing the light up into your ankles now. And I feel like I see you in skates. So I feel like you rolled your ankle. I rolled my ankle. My ankle feels like I rolled my ankle and I see skates on my feet. Competition is where you felt your best. That's where you felt validated. That's where you felt seen. That's where you felt like you had a purpose and you mattered. And then something took a turn. It like changed the path. So I'm going back to then. So I see you as like a young lady. And I see you in like this like leotard outfit, and I see you with skates on, and I see like your ankle rolled, like something happened here, but there's a wound in the ankle. So I'm just going to bring some healing into the bones, as well as the tissue and the ligaments. This is an old wound. But what it did to you internally is also connected. So as I'm healing this, I feel like your central nervous system is like bzz, bzz, taking some zaps, you know, like healing that trauma. So I'm just a little more in the ankle because it feels a little weakened at the ankle area. And I'm going up into your calf. So in your calf, I'm being drawn to that spot. I feel like I've been here before, right? I know we did a healing on it before. It's connected to the heart valve. And so I'm going there again. So I'm strengthening within. So I'm going from the left calf. It's a beeline from the left calf to the heart muscle. Sometimes our calves reflect our state of internal well-being to like our heart and our blood flow. In our brain. So I'm slowing down. And as I'm in your energy, I feel like I'm getting a little bit more congested, just some slightly congestion in my head and in my nose a little bit. So I don't know what that's about, but I really do feel it. Like I need to blow my nose. Pulmonary heart valve. Pulmonary heart valve is what I hear when I'm in your left calf. Strange, right? But I feel like we've been here before. So I'm going into the left calf, and very deep within the left calf, it's like It's connecting me to the pulmonary heart valve. I know that sounds very strange, but I can see both. It's like I can truly see both the pulmonary valve and your calf. And within it, I'm detaching this little bit of like tissue. There's like a little, almost like they're calling it a clog. A clot, like a buildup of cells, like a clot. And so I'm breaking down. It's very little. It's very little, but it's affecting the pulmonary valve, and it also affects your left calf. So you might reflect it in the left calf. But I think I feel like this is familiar. We've done this before. You know this. You've had pain there before. So this is not the first time we've been there. But there's a little bit of and I don't know why I'm hearing this, but I know I'm not in James's energy, but you are, and he has like ulcerative colitis. Okay, but so in your, I don't know if you heard that. My eyes are closed. I'm hearing James in here, and he has ulcerative colitis. And I know I'm not in his energy, and I didn't have permission, but he's in yours. And so I feel like we hear what we need to hear. And so colitis is like inflammation of the colon from an ulcer. That's what I would call that. But going back to yours, there's like this little clot within your heart valve, your pulmonary heart valve. So it's a pulmonary tissue release. It almost looks like tissue-y. So as I'm there, I went from the leg to the heart, and now I'm going to your lungs. So about midway in the lungs, it's about halfway down your lung, the actual lung sacs, okay? And about halfway, there's still some damaged tissue from smoke, not from cigarettes, but from the fire, like smoke inhalation. So there's a little bit of damaged tissue here that I need to cleanse. And this is old. This is not new. This is like smoke inhalation. And it actually did a lot of damage. I don't know if you're aware of how much damage it did. We did a layer of this before, but I feel like I'm going deeper into the tissue here, deeper into the tissue, because it's like if you get a burn scar, you can't get oxygenation. You can't get, like water will run off and things. And that's kind of what I'm seeing in the lungs here. It's like a scar. And so I'm kind of cleansing that out of the lungs. And then I can see you like taking deep breaths, like like I see that. But I also feel like I'm bringing oxygen in. I just got really dizzy doing that to myself. But I feel like I'm bringing oxygen into your lungs. And this is so weird. I like mermaid off the port valve, Ariel. So water is so important to you. Like swimming, water, swimming, aquatic therapy. Aquatic therapy will help with pressure in the lungs. It will help with moisture in the air. It will help actually being able to breathe in a little bit of proper moisture, like if you're swimming in a pool, not inhaling water, because there's moisture in the air around the pool, they're saying also. So like aquatic therapy with like this heated pool, if you could get that, that would be amazing. Like if I lived close to you, I would say, let's join the Y and let's do some aquatic therapy. You need it not only for your lungs and your heart, but also for your hips and your neck and your shoulders. Aquatic therapy. It'll help your physical vessel, and it will also help you release trapped emotions. Like build up strength, work muscles without strain. And now I'm going directly to your thyroid. Oh, in the lungs too, I'm not done there. I just want to let you know that. I feel like I'm still working through the lungs, and I'm also going deeper into the lungs to a little bit of mucose. So there's still some mucose in there. So remember last time I said I didn't want you coughing hard. That's still represented here. I don't want deep, deep coughing. So I need to break it up. I need to break it up to non-existence. So it's like I shove this light into it to break down its molecules of creation. Oh, excuse me. Nice releasing there. And as I'm doing that, I'm not leaving the lungs. I just want you to know that I'm still working through the lungs, but I need to go to your thyroid. And to help build up your immune system through your hippocampus, your hypothalamus, pituitary gland, your adrenal glands, your gonads, and your thyroid, and your liver. I also go into your spleen. Excuse me. Sorry. Deep releasing in the tissue. So in the liver, it's looking much better. I know we've done it. I can see the healing that was done there. I can see it. Your tissue is healing. It's regenerating. In the liver, your liver is regenerating. Is that possible? Yes. Your liver is regenerating. I see it happening. There's like all this, but I think I did such a healing there. Like it really kicked your ass, right? Like your liver is, chills. Your liver is regenerating. So, it's still processing a little bit through the one healing that I did there because I can see it on the inside. There's a little bit of tissue that's still dense, but the liver is truly, truly regenerating. It's affected the insulin. It's affecting your cholesterol levels. It's affecting everything. And so, you might have felt things, like you might be feeling things like dizziness every now and then. Woo! My eyes are closed. Sorry. I'm creating chaos in my environment. But you might be feeling things like, what's the best way to put this? Almost like sweaty, like clammy, salty. Like if you're like sweating salt. Isn't that gross? But I feel like that's from your conditioning liver regenerating of the liver regeneration. Like it's healing. But you will sweat salt. Isn't that so weird? That is a symptom of it. So your sweat will be like extra salty. So those are the kind of sweat that stain clothes and things. So now they're having me draw some light up the spinal fluid, going all the way up from below the coccyx. So I'm drawing light all the way up through the spinal fluid, and there's some DNA repair happening here. And then I see Grandma coming in. Grandma Lucy's here. Grandma's coming in as I'm doing this. Yeah, she's like, don't let anything sway you off your path. That's what she's saying. Like, I'm here to support you. Stay the path. Like, we're here with you. Stay the path. Like, don't let fear sway you. Don't let stressors sway you. Don't let them take you off your path. And I keep hearing ulcerative colitis, but that's not yours. I feel like that's James's. So I don't know if he's here with you or what's happening, because I keep hearing his energy. So I'm slowing down and I'm taking light up your spinal column. As I'm doing this, I see generational repair occurring, like DNA. It's DNA healing is occurring within your spinal fluid and your spinal column. But I need to go now to the brain stem and your hippocampus. Hippocampus. So there's something to do with glucose levels of the brain. So remember when I started, I said something about, was there Alzheimer's in our family line? So I don't know what this connection is. It has to do with DNA. So genetically, I think there might have been. But I don't know why I'm seeing that. I know on my dad's side there is, but this is coming out on your side, on the genetic coding. So it has something to do with blood glucose levels. of the brain. So the brain's ability to process glucose, which truly is a precursor or a connection to Alzheimer's. And that's what they're saying. On a baseline level, they're connected. So as I'm in the brain and I'm bringing light into the hippocampus, and this deals with, for however connected, again, not a doctor, just a healer, but this is what I see. This is what I do. This is what I do. It's connected through the hippocampus with glucose tolerance, glucose reading, like the ability to read and process glucose. And this is where it goes awry and the brain can misfire and become very dense, and it starts to break down memory conditioning. If you want to know how Alzheimer's is developed, I feel like that's part of it, a big chunk of it. And so I'm doing that, but I also need to go into like the sinus cavity here. So as I'm in your head, I also feel the sinuses, and there's a little bit of pressure breakdown, and I need to do a little cleansing of some bacterial stuff within the sinus cavities. So I'm seeing it all the way back to the head and even going into the lymph nodes. There's mold spores here. Mold spores. Like I can't breathe. You're allergic to mold. Any kind of mold. Oh, like I'm irritated, like super irritated. It's pissing me off. That's how I feel in your sinuses. Like I take a breath and it's like, oh. And my head hurts. Like I keep getting these headaches and it doesn't feel right. My head hurts and I keep getting like this pain in the back of my head. It just feels weird and a bit of congestion. And like I need to blow my nose. And then I'm also hearing occipital cortex. So I need to do an occipital realignment of the optic occipital, the eye. And it's on my left side. I feel some pressure in there. Almost like I keep hearing the word like glaucoma, but I'm not saying you have glaucoma. I just feel pressure in my eye. My eye started watering really bad. My head feels really wonky. But there's like these mold spores in there, and also slightly allergic to like smoky things and like dust particles, but especially mold particles. And this can be mold on plants. So I wouldn't say you're allergic to any plants outside. You're allergic to the ones that carry mold spores, and they like release them in the air. My head hurts. And as I'm doing this, I'm cleansing out a little more yuck in the lungs that is residual from before, that's still there. But not to where you cough it up. I need to break it down. So your body will literally break it down into nothing. It's going to break down into nothingness. Because your esophageal cortex and your bronchial cortex is still healing. The bronchial tubes are still inflamed slightly, and so I'm bringing more light there as well. And then into your ears, your auditory canal and your lymph nodes, I'm taking some light there. And so then I hear synapses of the brain, memory conditioning and releasing of processes of thought, and brain fog. And so I'm cleansing there. And didn't I start like when I saw all this stuff going on with the head when I went in. Who in our family had, and maybe they didn't know they did. I don't know, but somebody in the family had Alzheimer's somewhere. And I keep kind of seeing like your dad, maybe like on that side. Hippocampus, occipital cortex, and prefrontal release. So I heard those things at the same time. Hippocampus, occipital cortex, and prefrontal release. Hippocampus, occipital cortex, and prefrontal release. And I heard again, made up that you're dehydrated. So I need to bring in some water. So I'm going to bring in some water from the earth down where I grounded you. Remember I grounded you in water? I feel like this might be why. So I'm drawing in the water, drawing in the pure water from the earth, pure H2O, like pure H2O. And I'm drawing it into your tissues. And right when I draw it into your feet, your skin soaks it up. Like right at your feet, they're so dry. Like just went and it soaked it up. And so even if you drank 12 glasses of water, you're not going to fulfill the dehydration because it would need massive, like almost like an IV to do that. But we don't need that. I'm just going to draw it in. So I'm drawing in the water through the feet and it's going into your tissues, your veins. Your veins as well need to dilate. So vasodilation with the water. So dehydration causes constriction of the veins. Okay. That's what they're saying. It's what I'm seeing. So I'm drawing in water into the tissues and into the veins, all the way up through your body, into the tissues, and even into the skin, my tissues, your skin layer, the layers of the skin, drawing it in like all the way out, even through the hair follicles, because I feel like you were sweating salt, and that's probably from the liver regeneration. And that's a good thing, but we just need to hydrate everything. So I'm going to bring the water all the way up through the organ system is where I'm going first, including the gonads and your organ system. Your epiglottis also for estrogen releasing and repair and balance, because you need some, right? And so I'm bringing in the water here. Lots of hydration. And then myelin sheath repair. They're like gummy. I don't know what gummy means, but it's like gummy. Like the myelin sheath is not what I want it to be. I don't know what else to say. So I'm taking in water and it's sparking myelin sheath repair and regeneration, also through the liver and all the other things I've touched on. But I'm bringing water through the organs to help you with dehydration, because I feel like it would be hard to hydrate yourself from drinking water. Like you need the hydration boost. Liver, kidneys, adrenal glands, lungs, lung tissue, and even into like the bone marrow needs hydration. The vasodilation, so your veins are nice and tight, too tight because of the dehydration. So I'm just bringing in lots of water. And when I did that, I could feel the lungs open up more. Isn't that weird? Like I see like these like and then I still feel a little yucky in my head. So I'm bringing in water, just lots of water all the way up, water into the tissues, the vein system. But it's not just like I'm taking water directly into the veins. It's where the body processes it through the veins, right? So going into the organs, the tissue, the muscle tissue, which also is affecting your myelin sheath production and repair. And then they're going to have me scrape a little bit of your bone marrow, the left clavicle, a little bone marrow scraping. Feels very sensitive even when I touch my left clavicle. So I'm going to scrape a little bit there and then into the left femur by the knee. I'm just so glad you're here because I feel like you really needed it. This is an example of when somebody's fully open to healings, because it can only happen through you. People can block it, and then we can only see certain things. You know what I'm saying? My mom's like open, and I love it. I love it so much. So I'm just scraping the bone marrow ever so gently and bringing water. The hydration is coming all the way up to the brain stem and into the spinal fluid, the brain. It's helping everything. So I'm just bringing water all the way up through the body. Sinus cavity to have moisture, like everything, and even the colon. So I'm going to do a little light down the colon, not going up, but down the colon, for a colon cleanse and release and repair of the tissue lining of the colon. So I need the moisture. And then I go back to the ankle and herd gout again. So that's where we started. So I'm full circling. So I go back into the ankle and it's a little sore. I feel like I twisted my ankle, but this time it's kind of more up into my shin, more up into my leg. So with the water, I'm going into deeper healing, I feel like. Muscle, the muscle tissue, torn ligaments, and like if you bend a bone, it's not like broken, but like bone repair, bone healing, bone strengthening, and bone repair. And you're a bit porous. You know, like if they say you have osteoporosis, your bones are porous. And so I'm just bringing light into your skeletal system. But not a lot. It's only slightly. And I'm going to slow down because that was a lot. So I'm going back into the feet and doing more cleansing and how uric acid affects our feet, liver, kidneys, all of those things connected. And then also to thicken your skin, subcutaneous membrane. So some light into the subcutaneous membrane and cleansing out the pores from all the salt sweat release. And I need to slow down because that was a lot. And then Grandma Lucy she's like holding your hand. She's like, I'm not going to let go. I'm with you. I'm not leaving your side right now. I'm very proud of you. I'm here to help keep you going. All of those things. Like Grandma's like not leaving. She's actually giving love. And I feel like that's her biggest regret in life, is that she was so cold. Like she was kind of conditioned cold, you know what I mean? And so she never opened up to that love. And so she takes the blame for some of the reasoning for why you had your heart closed down at a young age, right? And so there's just all of that. But she's helping to open it back up even from the other side and trying to repair that very closed tunnel, we'll call it that, of love giving. I'm sure that makes sense to you. And she's just holding your hand and very proud of you. Grandpa Harry also just stepped in. Hot. H-O trigger. Yes, Grandpa Harry. With a forgivance. Forgiving. Just this energy of forgiving. Energy of forgiving and love. Forgiving and love. And I didn't see things clearly. That's what he's saying. I didn't see things clearly. I judged, and I just forgiveness, forgiving and love. And then Grandma Lucy's like, all right, get back. That's funny. I do actually see your father in the background, but he doesn't feel like he's not needed to step up at this time, but it's like he comes through in the background, because I feel like I don't have the right to partake like in certain things. Like like I wasn't there, and I feel like I don't have the right. But there's still an energy of forgiveness, and I feel like that's coming in on the back end for some healing later. That's what I'm hearing. It's like healing later, when the time is right, when the time is right, when the time is right. Yeah. Okay, Mom, I'm starting to come back into my physical presence. Like I can hear the birds on my thingy. I'm starting to come into my surroundings. So I'm going to start giving you, oh gosh, energy shift. Oh, forgive me. Oh, I'm going to start giving you your energy back. Oh man, that was like such a weird shift. So tired all of a sudden. And taking mine back. I'm going to leave you connected to water. The water needs you and you need it. That's why I kept hearing the mermaid song. It's like water. I need to swim in water. You also do need aquatic therapy. That would help a lot. Fluorite, crystal, and adventuring would also help process and digest these emotions and healing that came through today. Are you still here, Mom? Ooh, I'm dizzy. Whoa. Sorry, you guys. That was a lot. You're welcome. Did you hear about James? Was he with you? That was weird. Sorry about that. But I don't do anything past free will anyways, so sometimes we hear what we need to hear. I'm glad you were here, Mom. Thank you for coming. I needed the love today and to give healing where there's love in it. You know what I'm saying? Like, just needed that. So I thank you so much. Okay, well, you can let him know because it was through your energy. You like came through his channel or something because that's his name. I love you too, Mom. What are you doing later? You should call me, okay? Or I'll call you when I'm done. I'm glad you got that healing. We went into the pulmonary valve again. You need to be very mindful, okay? And can you do water therapy? That'd be so cool. I wish I could do it with you. I want to come home. Anyways. That actually wiped me out, Mom. Yeah. So take care of yourself, okay? Don't go driving right away. Make sure you are not dizzy before you do anything. Can you do that for me? Just watch out for dizziness is what they're saying. I don't want you falling, and I don't want you losing your spatial presence in a car. Okay? Oh, don't be sorry. I'm blessed. I love doing these things. I remember when I first started doing these things, people would be like, oh my gosh, I'm sorry. It's like, no, it's okay. I don't carry your symptoms forever. I'm just in your energy right now. It's okay. Okay. I actually did a healing once on somebody with full-blown seizures, and I went into a seizure. So when I first started, I would take on their symptoms tenfold, and I was like, oh, and my neck went out for 3 days. It's not that intense anymore. I feel some of it, but I'm able to kind of transmute it a little bit easier through burping and things like that. But I used to really take on those symptoms. So I had a full-blown seizure with that one. That was intense. Never forget it. My neck was out for like 3 days after that one. I was like, holy jolly. So you just learn to kind of, I don't know, I just learned to transmute it easier, I guess is the best way to say it. All right. Thank you so much, Mom. I'm so glad we were here. I'm so glad I got to do this today. Thank you to those that joined me on the live. I have been on now for 2 hours. I'm glad I was here today. The energy was marvelous. There was a great message in this live as well. So I hope you guys have a really wonderful Sunday. I'm super dizzy, and I'm glad I did this because I do like the other type of healing videos, but it's not the same in my one-on-one sessions at all. They're much more intricate, much more intimate, and much more full body focused than I'm able to do in my other type of healings on my videos. So thank you, Mom. And I knew to ask you, so you needed it. So thank you so much. I'm so glad you were here. I'm so glad. It really made my day. It made me so happy. So much love to all of you. I hope you have a beautiful day. I'll call you in a bit. Okay, Mom? All right. See you later, guys. Bye. Me too, she said. All right. There's always a delay, so I don't want to just hang up on people. But I'll see you later. Bye, guys.